Hello everyone, my name is Raphael Lewis, leader of the National Coalition Party of Canada, the NCPC. What is happening with NAFTA? Is Canada in the middle of a trade war with the United States of America? What is going on with the most recent trade disputes arising from NAFTA? As we all know, NAFTA is the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, United States, and Mexico. Free trade platform. We all know what NAFTA is. Now let us backtrack a little bit. NAFTA was finalized by former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, Progressive Conservative Party, backed by former President George Bush and the former Mexico president at that time. His name skipped my mind. However, the Liberal Party they opposed NAFTA. And we've never known the true position on NAFTA. But now we can say we know that the Liberal Party opposed NAFTA. They fought NAFTA. Why, we don't know, but they seem to enjoy the free trade incentives that NAFTA is bringing into our country, and sometimes even try to take credit from NAFTA, which they opposed. Recently, we know we've had disputes, lumber disputes under NAFTA in the past, resolved, of course, amicably. And now we've seen new disputes arising from President Donald Trump with his current administration. Now, let's look at what is causing this type of a trade tension between our two countries, good allies, longest border in the world, good economic partners, good military allies and partners, etc., etc. But let's look at what is causing this tension. We have our dairy trade with the US. The dairy industry in Canada is managed under a certain system. However, we have a few states in the US benefiting from this trade with Canada. However, Canada has a very high tariff on dairy with the US. It's a $300, $500, $400 million trade that Canada is benefiting from this. But those products are not covered under NAFTA. Therefore, Canada enjoy a high tariff on US exchange and US buyers. That has raised Republican and other Democrats in the US have raised that concern that why is such a tariff? Why this, trade tariffs, etc. on those dairy when we having free trade NAFTA, lumber, beef going, not having such a high tariff? And we know recently Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had to defend these issues with the US. Now we have to understand free trade worked a long way with fair trade. It has to be fair, and both trade partners must be happy. Now, our current President Trump wants to renegotiate NAFTA in their best interest. They're not happy. And if I'm trading with any trading partner, if I'm not happy, I need to express that I need a better deal. And also we need to remember how former Prime Minister Stephen Harper signed a trade deal that almost killed our farming industry. The European trade deal giving Europe access to our dairy industry. And in the past, we've seen farmers disagreeing with this type of trade deals because we had a growing, prosperous farming and dairy industry in Canada. Now we've reduced to almost 50%. We've had around over 120,000 local Canadian producers, dairy producers nationwide. Now we're down to almost 50%, almost 54,000. Killed our industry, our dairy industry, Canadian farmers. Jobs, businesses, Canadian revenues, you name it. Now, I think it is time that we renegotiate NAFTA because keeping in mind, US can turn around and find other, people to buy from. They have the buying power. And also, this is our closest ally. We share the longest borders in the world, peaceful, undisputed. We have a military cooperation. We have it, we name it. We have to keep both trade partners happy. And as I said, fair trade, free trade, right? I believe the best way is to renegotiate NAFTA and observing this NAFTA agreement. I also believe that the best way for Canada and US to continue enjoying that free trade and fair trade relationship that the current administration, President Trump, is looking for, is to have a bilateral trade relationship with the US. The renegotiation with NAFTA should be between Canada and US. We need to drop Mexico out of NAFTA. Have a bilateral trade relationship, free trade with US, renegotiate products, and I believe that will have a better impact on our economy. Because by leaving Mexico out, we give US, we leave that trade partner and let US have their own bilateral trade with Mexico because the needs are not the same. I believe the solution for this, not only to renegotiate NAFTA, but for Canada to have bilateral trade relationship with US, and if we want, we can have another bilateral trade relation with Mexico. But the three is not working together. They're not. US can negotiate with Mexico bilaterally and Canada as well. This is my belief. This is how it would work perfectly well because US is Canada's biggest trading partner. We share the longest border in the world. And both nations create jobs, economic growth, and trade surplus. And to me, the future of this relationship to be more prosperous, we should drop Mexico out of NAFTA and have bilateral trade with US, bilateral trade with Mexico, and US can do whatever they want to do, have bilateral trade with Mexico, whatever. That's none of a business at that time. But this is what I believe should be done to have a sustainable trade zone in America. That way we can bring back all of our industries, all of our jobs that's being gone to Mexico because we have low cost manufacturing. We should bring back all of our industry, our automobile industry, our dairy, rebuild, revamp all of industry that was killed by NAFTA, that was destroyed by NAFTA because of this agreement. We would revive our economy, we would reduce our trade deficit, and we would recreate jobs, small businesses, bring back farming industry that we're losing significantly, and have a better trade deal with the United States. Because down the road, we are going to lose because they are the buyer. And if they don't want to buy, the competition is high. And let's have some common sense leader to negotiate this time around for us. The competition is high. And that way, we will reduce a lot of the costs, reduce our trade deficit, bring back our industry, and have a better trade relationship with the US and or Mexico. That way, we can eliminate having dispute, having such economic backslash. Now our industries, lumber industry, is in limbo. All because our current party do not seem to understand, the current Prime Minister does not seem to understand fair trade and free trade. And we need smart leaders, intelligent leaders to understand what is working and what is not working. And right now, what is not working is NAFTA. It's not working on the best interest of Canada or US. That's why we're going into disputes, right? Let us renegotiate, have bilateral trade with NAFTA, bring back our industries, bring back our jobs, and put this country back into economic recovery, reduce our trade deficit, and have a stronger, more competitive economy. My name is Raphael Lewis, leader of the National Coalition Party of Canada. Thank you.